There are moments in life when we cross paths with people who seem to bring nothing but chaos, confusion, and destruction. At first, they may appear charming, helpful, or even godly, but over time, their actions reveal their true nature. Not everyone who enters your life is sent by God. Some are distractions, some are tests, and some are straight from the enemy, designed to pull you away from your destiny. That's why it's so important to have discernment. When you can recognize who is influencing your life, you can guard your heart, protect your peace, and stay on the path God has for you. Some people come into your life not to bless you, but to bring division. They don't bring peace, they bring confusion. They don't lift you up, they stir up conflict. You may think they're just opinionated, just strong-willed, but the truth is, some people are strategically placed to disrupt what God is doing in your life. If you're constantly caught up in drama, if relationships in your life are always under attack, if you find yourself surrounded by negativity, you need to ask yourself, who am I allowing into my space? Not everyone who walks into your life is meant to stay. Some people are distractions sent to derail your purpose. You were on track, focused, moving forward, but suddenly here comes someone bringing strife. You find yourself in unnecessary arguments, dealing with misunderstandings, feeling tension where there was once peace. That's not a coincidence, that's an assignment against your destiny. The enemy knows that division weakens you. So he sends people who will drain your energy, steal your focus, and keep you tied up in issues that don't matter. Sometimes division doesn't come loudly, it comes subtly. It's the coworker who always has something negative to say. It's the friend who plants seeds of doubt about your other relationships. It's the person who constantly questions your faith, your dreams, your vision. Slowly, without realizing it, you begin to question the very things you were once sure of. You were happy in your marriage, but now you're second guessing. You were confident in your calling, but now you're unsure. That's not by accident, that's an intentional attack. You have to recognize when someone is not meant to be in your life. It doesn't mean you're rude or unkind. It means you're wise. Guard your peace. Protect your heart. Pay attention to how you feel after spending time with someone. Do you feel encouraged, strengthened, inspired, or do you feel heavy, burdened, unsettled? That's not something to ignore, that's a warning sign. When someone is constantly stirring up division, causing confusion, or leading you away from what's right, you don't have to argue, you don't have to prove anything, you simply need to distance yourself. Some battles aren't worth fighting. Some people aren't worth trying to change. Let them go. Let God handle it. You weren't meant to carry unnecessary stress. You weren't meant to live in a cycle of conflict. God has peace for you. He has clarity, stability, and direction. But you can't receive it if you're allowing the wrong people to occupy your space. Be mindful of the company you keep. Surround yourself with those who bring out the best in you, who encourage your faith, who inspire your growth. Life is too short to waste time on people who only bring confusion. Step into the peace and purpose that is meant for you. There are people who come into your life with the sole purpose of pulling you away from your destiny. They don't come with red flags waving. They come disguised as friends, as mentors, even as romantic interests. They seem supportive at first, but little by little their influence begins to shift your perspective. Where you once had clarity, now there is doubt. Where you once felt confident, now you feel hesitant. Pay attention to the people who cause you to second guess the path God has placed before you. Not everyone who smiles at you has your best interest at heart. One way to recognize these individuals is by how they affect your faith. Do they strengthen your walk with God, or do they make you question it? Do they push you toward prayer, integrity, and righteousness, or do they subtly pull you into compromise? Some people will come into your life and start making excuses for things you once stood firm on. They'll tell you it's okay to bend the rules, just a little, to loosen your standards, to take shortcuts. It seems harmless at first, but before you know it, you're further from your principles than you ever intended to be. That's not an accident. That's a distraction designed to move you off course. You have to stay spiritually alert. The enemy doesn't always attack with force. He often attacks with influence. He sends people who know how to manipulate with charm, who use flattery to earn your trust. They'll tell you exactly what you want to hear, but their actions don't match their words. They'll promise loyalty, but betray your confidence. They'll act like they care, but when you need them most, they're nowhere to be found. Don't be fooled by words. Watch the fruit of their life. Watch their consistency, their integrity, their actions. Someone truly sent to be a blessing in your life will bring peace, not confusion. They will bring wisdom, not deception. They will bring clarity, not chaos. If you constantly feel anxious around someone, if you notice that their presence always seems to bring tension or uneasiness, that's a sign. Peace is one of the greatest indicators of God's presence in a relationship. When someone is meant to be in your life, there is a sense of stability, of alignment, of encouragement. But when someone is sent as a distraction, their influence will always bring disorder. Don't ignore that. Don't make excuses for behavior that is leading you in the wrong direction. You don't have to argue, convince, or try to fix anyone. Your responsibility is to guard your heart, protect your purpose, and stay on the path God has for you. If someone is causing confusion, creating doubt, or leading you away from what is right, be willing to step back. You are not obligated to keep people in your life who are disrupting your peace. The right relationships will strengthen you. The wrong ones will drain you. Choose wisely. Some people come into your life not to lift you up, but to pull you away from the path of purpose. They disguise themselves as friends, mentors, or even romantic interests, but their influence slowly starts to change you. At first, everything seems fine. They may even encourage you, speak the right words, and make you feel important. But over time, their presence brings confusion instead of clarity, doubt instead of confidence. You start questioning things you once believed in, compromising in ways you never thought you would. Be careful who you allow close to you, because not everyone is sent to help you grow. Some are sent to derail your destiny. A clear sign of a wrong influence is when someone consistently leads you away from your values. They may not do it directly, but through subtle suggestions and small compromises, they start shifting your standards. Maybe you used to have strong convictions, but now you find yourself making exceptions, justifying things that deep down you know aren't right. At first it seems insignificant, but little by little they chip away at the foundation of your character. That's not just coincidence. That's a strategic attack to weaken your spirit, to make you settle for less than what you were created for. Pay attention to the people who encourage you to take shortcuts, who push you toward things that go against what you know is right. True friends will challenge you to grow. They won't encourage you to compromise. Another way to recognize the wrong people is by the fruit of their life. Words can be deceiving, but actions always reveal the truth. Someone may talk about kindness, but how do they treat others? They may speak of loyalty, but do they keep their word? Watch how they handle pressure, how they respond when things don't go their way. Do they gossip, manipulate, or stir up drama? Or do they walk in peace, honesty, and integrity? The wrong people may appear charming and persuasive, but over time, their true nature will always show. Don't ignore the warning signs. When someone repeatedly breaks trust, brings confusion, or drains your spirit, that's a sign that they are not meant to be in your life. You don't have to allow toxic influences to remain close to you. It's not unkind to set boundaries, it's wisdom. You are called to a higher purpose, and you can't afford to let the wrong people pull you down. Be intentional about who you surround yourself with. Choose relationships that build you up, that inspire faith, that push you closer to your calling. If someone is causing you to question your values, if their presence is stealing your peace, be willing to step away. The right people will strengthen you, encourage you, and bring out the best in you. The wrong ones will weaken you, distract you, and keep you from becoming all you were created to be. Choose wisely. Some people enter your life with the sole purpose of bringing confusion and distraction. They don't come openly opposing you. They come wrapped in charm, saying the right things, making you feel special. But over time, their presence creates tension instead of peace, doubt instead of faith. You may find yourself constantly feeling drained, uneasy, or uncertain around them. That's not just a random feeling. That's your spirit sensing something is off. The wrong people bring disorder. They stir up unnecessary drama, pit you against others, and create division. Their words may be smooth, but their actions leave behind confusion. When God sends people, they bring peace, encouragement, and clarity. But when the enemy sends people, they bring turmoil, stress, and distraction. Learn to recognize the difference. One way to discern the wrong influence is by the way they react to your growth. The right people celebrate your progress, cheer you on, and push you toward your purpose. The wrong ones feel threatened when you rise. They may pretend to be happy for you, but deep down they don't want you to succeed. Instead of lifting you, they subtly try to hold you back, questioning your dreams, downplaying your achievements, or making you feel guilty for moving forward. When you step into new opportunities, do they encourage you or make you doubt yourself? Do they offer support or do they make negative comments disguised as jokes? Someone who truly cares will want to see you succeed, but the wrong influence will secretly resent your progress. Pay attention to how people respond when God starts elevating you. Another key sign is that the wrong people weaken your discernment. At first, you may recognize that something isn't right, but the longer you entertain their presence, the more you start excusing their behavior. Maybe they lie often, but you tell yourself it's just a small lie. Maybe they have a bad temper, but you say that's just how they are. Slowly, you start tolerating things you once stood against. You ignore the red flags, convincing yourself that you're just being too critical. But what's happening is that your discernment is being dulled. The more you let the wrong influences in, the more you lose sight of what's right and what's not. When someone causes you to compromise your values, when their presence clouds your judgment, that's a sign they were never meant to be in your life. If you want to stay on the path of purpose, you have to be intentional about who you surround yourself with. Not everyone deserves access to your heart, your dreams, and your time. Some people are only meant to be in your life for a season, and when their time is up, you need to let them go. You don't have to explain. You don't have to justify. Just move forward in wisdom. When you release the wrong people, you make room for the right ones. The ones who uplift you, strengthen you, and push you toward everything you were created to be. Some people come into your life with an assignment. Not to bless you, not to encourage you, but to pull you off course. They are on a mission to sow doubt, to weaken your faith, and to make you question what you know is true. At first, they may seem kind, supportive, even trustworthy, but over time, their words start chipping away at your confidence. They subtly plant seeds of insecurity, making you doubt your dreams, your abilities, and even your purpose. Pay attention to how people speak into your life. Do they uplift you, or do they constantly make you feel less than? Do they encourage your faith, or do they cause you to question what God has already told you? The wrong people don't always come in opposition. One of the biggest red flags is manipulation. When someone is sent to derail your destiny, they don't come with an obvious attack. Instead, they slowly try to control your thoughts, emotions, and decisions. They might use guilt to keep you tied to them, making you feel responsible for their happiness. They twist situations to make themselves look like the victim and you the problem. If you try to set boundaries, they make you feel selfish or ungrateful, but you don't have to live under that pressure. You are not responsible for carrying people who refuse to change. When someone constantly manipulates you, drains your energy, and leaves you feeling confused, that's a sign they're not meant to be in your life. Another key sign is when someone causes you to walk away from what you know is right. Maybe you used to be consistent in your faith, but now you're compromising in ways you never thought you would. Maybe you used to have strong values, but now you're justifying behaviors that don't align with who you are. If someone is pulling you further from your purpose, from your calling, and from your peace, that's a clear sign they're not meant to stay in your life. The right people will strengthen your convictions, not weaken them. They will encourage you to be your best, not make you settle for less. The wrong influence will also bring unnecessary chaos. You may notice that ever since they came into your life, things have felt off. There's more drama, more confusion, more stress. Maybe your relationships with others have started to suffer. Maybe you feel more anxious, less at peace. That's not a coincidence. That's a sign that this person is carrying something destructive. The right relationships bring joy and clarity, not constant turmoil. When you are constantly walking on eggshells, afraid to say or do the wrong thing, that's not a friendship. That's bondage. You don't have to keep people in your life just because of history. You don't have to entertain drama just because someone expects you to. Protect your peace. If someone is sent to distract, drain, or detour you, recognize it and release it. Your destiny is too important to let the wrong people pull you away from it. Some people come into your life not to build you up, not to encourage you, but to drain you, to pull you off course. They may seem charming at first, saying all the right things, making you feel special. But over time, you start to notice the patterns: confusion, frustration, chaos. Instead of bringing peace, they bring stress. Instead of lifting you higher, they weigh you down. You find yourself constantly trying to explain yourself, constantly trying to fix things, constantly walking on eggshells. That's not how a healthy relationship should feel. The right people will bring clarity, not confusion. They will support your purpose, not work against it. A major sign that someone isn't meant to be in your life is when they try to isolate you. They don't want you connected to others who can speak truth into your life. They subtly plant doubt about your friends, your family, your mentors. They make you feel like they're the only ones who truly understand you. But that's a trap. The enemy knows that if he can get you alone, away from wise counsel, away from people who love you, then he can influence your thinking. You have to recognize when someone is pulling you away from your support system. The right people don't isolate you. They encourage healthy connections. Another warning sign is when someone constantly drains your energy. Every conversation is about their problems, their issues, their needs. You try to be there for them, but no matter how much you give, it's never enough. They demand your time, your attention, your emotional energy, but when you need support, they're nowhere to be found. A healthy relationship should be mutual, give and take. You shouldn't always feel exhausted after being around someone. If a relationship is depleting you instead of strengthening you, it may not be one you need to hold on to. Some people are sent to distract you from your destiny. You were focused, moving forward, excited about your purpose, and then they showed up. Now you're second guessing yourself. Now you're spending time and energy on things that don't matter. Instead of growing, you feel stuck. Instead of peace, you feel frustration. That's not a coincidence. That's a distraction. When someone is pulling you away from your calling, keeping you from stepping into what you're meant to do, it's time to reevaluate that relationship. The right people will push you forward, not hold you back. Watch out for people who constantly bring drama into your life. It's always one thing after another. Arguments, misunderstandings, tension. You feel like you're always in the middle of some issue, always trying to fix things, always dealing with negativity. That's not normal. Life has enough challenges on its own without adding unnecessary drama. The right people will bring peace, not turmoil. They will bring encouragement, not conflict. If a relationship is full of unnecessary stress, it may not be a relationship you need to keep. You have to protect your peace. Your time, your energy, your purpose are too valuable to be wasted on the wrong people. When someone consistently brings negativity, manipulation, and distraction into your life, it's time to let them go. Don't feel guilty for setting boundaries. Don't feel bad for choosing peace over chaos. The right people will support your growth, not hinder it. Stay focused, stay strong, and trust that when you release the wrong people, the right people will come. There comes a time when you must recognize who is truly meant to be in your life and who is only there to hinder your growth. Not everyone who enters your life is sent to bless you. Some are distractions, some are energy drainers, and some are meant to pull you away from your destiny. But when you stay discerning, when you guard your heart and protect your peace, you position yourself for greater things. Letting go of the wrong people isn't a loss. It's making room for the right ones. Choose relationships that uplift, strengthen, and align with your purpose. When you walk in wisdom, you'll surround yourself with the right voices, and you'll step boldly into the future prepared for you.